All right, so here we are again, Monday morning. It's holiday. We're gonna have a short trading day, so we got to get ourselves organized as quickly as possible. And we're just gonna run through our highs and our lows. The overnight on or the day closed on Friday. It's right there, right there, right there. So price took out the high, which means that it confirmed this low. So we can draw that in. And as far as we're concerned, this is still going up, right? When I was doing my review, um, looking for my trade setup, the impulse, the pullback, the shelf, the pop, return to the shelf, and the continuation of the next impulse. I noticed something that, well, a friend of mine had pointed something out because I don't know, I get tied up with direction, flow. Which way is the market going? And he said to me, just lean into your levels and you should be okay. The levels tell me which way to go. And I thought about that. It's a really good piece of advice because if we follow our price, our impulse legs, they're just going to be going back and forth between these levels, right? You have your kill zone, your pressure cooker, and your kill zone. And as price comes in and out and up and down, one of the things that we're always looking for is a stop. And how we can be safe about our trades. But then understanding what these pressure cookers do, these kill zones do, and they're all connected, like one big breathing life form that is collective of all of us out here trading, right? We're all in this together. So as price is coming up and it's doing its squiggle, it's doing its squiggle, it's doing its squiggle, I look for my shelf. I see my shelf. I see my pop right there. I don't get the retest, which is fine. The market just opened. 7 o'clock news came out, inflation, I think it was. See how that just lands right back into the pressure cooker? You got to hit here, you got to hit here. So if I'm sitting here wondering which way am I going to trade, how I'm going to center myself to figure out which way the market's going, this is one of the easiest things you can do. From the top, you just draw off here. And why they call this the pressure cooker is you can see the pressure going up. Pressure going up, up. It's trying, it's trying, it's trying, it's trying. Finally, it breaks through. And then we call this the kill zone because if this thing comes down and breaks through that, we know this zone is no longer in play. Just one of the things that we notice about this process. And there's minor kill zones and major kill zones. But if you're thinking about a place to put orders, putting orders down here, and I realize this is in hindsight, but you could easily draw as price comes down, tries, makes this big box right here, and then a little box behind it. You can draw right off of that, and you've seen in my other videos how I draw off these boxes to act as a launch for the next setup, right? We have a hard down here and a hard down here, you know, draw from the box, and as price goes through to make the next kill zone or the next impulse leg, it gives you an opportunity. Now, we didn't know that was going to happen. I wait till after 7, so I didn't really get started trading my trading day till here. But I can sit back and relax a little bit because I can now have an idea of what my zones are and see how they get connected, right? Price pulls back down into here, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. The flow of price over time. Now, I don't know that, it's going to come back and test on this. I don't know that it's not going to come all the way back down here and do something like this. Just don't, so I can measure here, get an idea of what the swing pullback is. And if I want to put my order on the kills of the pressure cooker, I can come down here with a cash stop, and take that risk. Or certainly if you wanted to take the whole stop, you can size down, and your upside is going to be huge. It's all the way up here, which is a little too much for what I'm trying to do. Because one of the things that you also need to do is when you get in, how do you get out? And are you getting out on any bar that takes out a high? Sometimes I'll take my money as price crosses the high here, and I might have an order down here, and just because I don't want to have to play the game of fluctuation. But then I can also notice that this swing length is about 6 ticks. So if I go to the next, if I'm trying to get, ideally it's a 3-to-1 trade, but oftentimes I can do a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1. I'm going to measure that up. How big is this swing here? How big is that pullback there? That's 6 ticks. This upswing is 10, right? So if we do another one, we say we get in here, we want to do another 10. We're not terribly far away from that, right? From that high. I mean, that's good money right there. That's your money. You don't have to really do much more in there, other than wait for the next swing. And then as price comes back, we got our kill zone here. Price comes back, maybe you do that to capture that, but that's not going up. That's just coming back. So price pulls back after it tries, right? So we got our impulse here. Price tries, doesn't, it forms its shelf. I've taken that trade a bunch of times because I've got my box right here, right? But I'm also managing it so that when I get in, and it's boom, boom, taking off like this, I'm cutting my risk either to here or I'm going to break even and just, you know, taking what it gives me because I don't know that it's going to pull back. I don't know that it's going to do all this, and I'm certainly not going to try and guess because that's the easiest way to lose your money. So I can sit back and say, okay, price came in here. Now look at the, we can easily draw this zone, and you can see price hits the zone here and has a reaction to that. So how far is the reaction? How, we can, certainly try and measure that out with a swing back here. If we don't have that, we have our zones from here, right? Here's a kill zone or a pressure cooker from here. Price took off from here, lands back on here, and gives us this kind of action. So now we know that price is pushing that way. And remember what I said about drawing from your pullbacks or that first pullback. It gives us another idea where we can get in. Put it together with your impulse leg. Impulse, right? It's kind of a low shelf. This is a higher shelf. And then you can get in either on this one or this one. Now, some people will say, look at the candlesticks, which is how you can, with the colors, you can see that green's going up, big green, pulls back, big green, pulls back. It tries, see the tails, comes back, hard up, and you really have to be on it to catch this one here. But price didn't take out anything down here, right? Set up your zone, right? Where's the zone? Boom, price lands back here, and you can read this action down, reverses, takes off. You can draw your line off of there, or I actually like to draw it off that side, and then you can capture that one, or that's how you would capture that one there. Small little details. I've spent hours and hours and hours looking at charts to help me understand more about how to get in and how to capture this profit. Again, with the trend zone, the kill zone, the pressure cooker, you can see how the pressure is up against it, running into these sellers. Sellers push it down, they try again, and they fail, and then price continues on. So pay attention to these levels as they are significant and how the flow of prices working its way through the market. You can easily set up trades based on just this box, right? And we said this is a 10 tick swing, that's 12. Too many buttons. Say you get in here, you're getting 6, but you're also getting in at a good point where you can put a stop in. Yeah, it pulls back on you, it tries again. You'll be okay. You really will. So one of the things I'm really focusing on is just these zones that are now clear as day, right? As a day trader, we're in and out of the market so much. And see how that's all put together now, right? Put together, takes the zooms through, lands right in the zone. tries again, lands back down. Oh, and that's another thing. When if you notice, price here comes up, hits the zone, pushes back down, hits the zone, pushes back down. So if and this has caught me a million times, and it's just something that I'm just really starting to get in tune with. When price is going through the pressure cooker, landing on the old pressure cooker, and it tries and it goes through, it tries and it lands. Give this thing some time. If you have a stop, if you're in down here, don't be in such a hurry to capture that profit. You want to wait. You can sit back here and relax because you have buyers down here taking it up. Right? Wait for that. Oh shoot. Wait for that impulse leg to follow to break that pressure cooker. It breaks it here. Getting 8 ticks. You can take your money, sit back, wait for the next one. Or as it breaks through there, you can then move your stop up to break even and just take the risk on that after it clears here. Because now that it's taken out the high, is it really going to come all the way back? Probably not. This one did, but that was a news report, and it only landed in the pressure cooker. It didn't land in the kill zone. So you've got your kill zone and your pressure cooker all wrapped in one there. And it just takes time to see these things. It takes time to understand them. But the more you spend on your chart, the more you're going to see this stuff. One thing that I got caught up on, and it was kind of end of day on Friday, is I had the impulse leg up and I had my shelf. And this is what was frustrating for me is I was long here. I got in on this bar here. It was great. I could see it clear as day. And I was like, when price was up here, I said, as price started coming down, I said, this is where I'm going to be. It took off here. I took my money here because I wanted out. I had a lot of money on the thing. I wanted out. So I got paid. And then it came back down here and I was like, oh, I should do it again. And look at that, right after that there. Price goes up, boom. Could have had a nice little afternoon. So that's how I broke it down. I had a couple of things going on in here. Some trades that I made. Wasn't perfect, I definitely had my my challenges, but at the end of the day, I came out okay. What else? So map out those zones, and people are always talking about back testing. I'm not a big back tester. I want to keep what's in front of me, but I know these, I know these zones and I know these patterns where they work over and over and over again. So I don't need to go back in time to look, to know that after an impulse, there's a pullback and then there's a retest on the backside. I can find these I could find them everywhere I look as I work my way through a chart. So, those of you guys that spend time back testing, I don't know what you're looking for. You're looking for some sort of confirmation. Obviously, I understand that. We all want that confirmation. So be confident in your see, it just pulls it up, shelf, and as price breaks through, see that goes through, boom, 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 retest. That was a little quicker. And this is another, if you want to play it on a bigger scale, right? Impulse up, shelf, and retest the backside. So stick to that one concept, and you should be on the right side of the market. Remember to take your money regularly, often. Know your setup. One of the things I struggle with is I see a lot of trades, and I get caught up in it. And that's why it's good to draw your zones. It's good to be consistent with your drawing, so you know that you're constantly staying on the right side. You see price break through there, you know that it's going up. You don't know how far it's going to come down, but you can easily, take the last swing and measure it out and say, okay, I want to be, in here somewhere. Say you get in here. If you got yourself a stop, and maybe you get yourself a 1-to-1 trade, that's 10 ticks. There's 10 ticks to the upside. There's nothing wrong with taking a 1-to-1 trade. Especially when you know that you're going to have another pullback here in a minute. Price comes back into this pressure cooker, right? Goes up, comes down. Your zone here. See, look at that. It's almost like your impulse leg. Boop. Shelf. Boop. And then you retest. You just gotta wait, wait for that thing to flush them out, and then off to the races. Right? Off to the races. Go make money. All right, guys. Have a great day. Be safe out there.